Here we go. We're going to try this today. How is everybody on this wonderful Monday, the beginning of the week? This is our last run-through of the show. Trying to figure out all the technical things. Anyway, we're going to have fun. If nobody joins me, I'll have fun by all myself. But I want to test out some things today. I just want to see if the recording of music could work on here. And I don't know. So if you guys help me, that would be great. Let me see here. I'm going to invite people. Copy to clipboard. Yay. Copy. Da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to send this out. Oh, let me see. I've got my phone here. Hold on. Let me see. Hey. So anyway, do you love this music? Anybody know where this music comes from? If you're listening. There we go. I had to fix that there. Ba-da-ba-doom. All righty here. Let's see. Little by little, people are checking in. Politics is Drag, Esther Goldberg TV. It is Monday. I keep forgetting people are actually at work. Yesterday, it was pretty cool because it was Sunday. So it was pretty cool. Over here, my friend Eric Del Cid says, hey, mijo, how are you doing? It looks like you're keeping busy with Canadian Karen. Yes. Let me write back. Yes, I'm on live. Check it out. On my page. There we go. Anyway, let's see. Boom. You know, I keep forgetting that with the time difference, and I start this at a certain time. So what happens is I realize that the people on the East Coast are having their dinner. And let's see, there's two people there just trying to keep up here. To Michael Arrington. There's nobody on my... That's funny. Everybody's on the other page, but they're not here. So, yeah, I've lined up a bunch of cool stuff to try out on the show. Yes, I have a cocktail, so fuck it. Because I can. So, yeah, I'm having a cocktail because it's 4:00 in Las Vegas, which means it's 5:00 somewhere else. It's 5:00 somewhere in the world, happy hour, but I don't give a shit. Anyway, let's see. Comments show up. What am I missing here? There we go. Hey, everybody. Hey, Karen Anderson. How are you? I see Karen just joined us. Love us. And then there's Eric Del Cid. Cute little Eric. I remember Eric from, what the hell was that? From Caesars. And he worked with him. Hey, Barbara DeBella. How are you? I'm just, I guess what's interesting that I found out about this particular software is when people comment, like Barbara's commenting from Facebook. Someone else is commenting from YouTube, and I'm streaming on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm streaming on 7 different platforms. So 7 different rooms. So I'm in the Politics is a Drag room, which is 15,000 people. I'm on my YouTube page, Esther's YouTube page, which is 9,000 subscribers. I'm on my Michael, whatever the fuck that page that is. Oh, it's only got 600. I don't have anybody on my... I haven't really tried to promote my what the hell is it? My page, my Michael page. Everybody's on my profile. So if you're lucky enough to be on my profile, we've met. We either drank together, slept together, partied together, had dinner together, or we're just good friends and always hung out together. That's how you end up on my Michael Arrington private page. But it's pretty cool. Let's see. Barbara's Bella's here. Eric's there. Hey, Karen. How are you? Lofton at work again. Love me some Karen. What's so funny is I have some other things over here. You know what I did? Eric, are you still in Vegas or are you on the East Coast? I can't remember. I can't remember if you moved. Thank you. I've been working on trying to look good and not my age, and the lighting helps. And and I've been getting a tan, so that helps. But there we go. Okay, more and more people are checking in. Hi, everybody. If you're checking in, please. Hey, James Milner. Everybody. Hold on, I'm situating myself here. No, I love it when James Milner is one of my dear friends from way back, Washington D.C. When at the turn of the century, as I call it, the turn of the millennium was like 1999 is when I got to Washington D.C. after I left Nashville, and then 2000 Esther basically took over Washington D.C. She had a big show, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, I love it. You can tell when your friends are saying hi to you and they say, "Hey, hooker." Oh, good. So I came back about 3 months ago. Good to be home. Eric, you came back to Vegas or you came back to the East Coast? Help me there. But hey, James, if you want to pop on, you're more than welcome to. We can talk politics. I am just trying out different software. And one of the things I want to do today is I'm trying to figure out how to, I'm going to see if I can do music. So if somebody were to come on and they were to sing, I would be able to play the music. So if you're lucky, I may sing a song or part of a song. So you can't laugh. I'll actually sing it as me because Esther has a different. How do you do that? Hold on. So it's very easy. I'm going to send this. Hold on. What I'm going to do is, okay, hold on. Let's see. I'm going to invite you right now, James. Hold on. I'm going to send you through Messenger. Okay, hold on. Ba-da-ba. Enter friends. Okay, I'm going to send this to you now, James. You can pop in. Da-da-da-da. Okay, and I'm sending this to you now. So that just went to you, James, on Messenger. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Hey, Daniel Flores, how are you guys doing? There you go. Let me get rid of this here. I mean, there's all kinds of knobs and whistles and shit like that. So, but if you want to come on, I'm just having fun doing stuff and working on music. Let me ask you guys a question. I'm going to try something right now, and I want you to tell me if this. Hold on. Let me bring in James. James, how are you? James?
Yes. Hi.
There you go. It's when you say hi to somebody, you usually say hi back. I think I stunned you, didn't I? You didn't realize you were on the air.
No, it's all good. Hey.
You look great. Look at you. All floral today. How's everything in Richmond, Virginia?
Hang on. I'm getting feedback here.
Well, what you need to do is you need to turn the volume off on your computer screen. Where if you're on Facebook or whatever, or you're watching this, turn the volume down there, and you should be able to hear me without it. Tell me. Got it. But you look good. Are you okay? Keep going. Yeah, it's all about the volume. Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes.
And you have no more background stuff.
No, I'm not hearing everything you say twice.
Well, that's good. A lot of people get really irritated when that happens. So
once is enough.
Once is enough for the old broad. Yeah. So we're getting ready to bring Esther's That's Estertainment YouTube series to fruition. And so I've been testing stuff and working on the software. And I love StreamYard. It's amazing. It's the quality is amazing. I can do clips of shows and stuff and bring it in. Have you used this before?
Yeah, it's great. We've actually used it for virtual events for Virginia Pride. So it's been very successul. Yes.
Hey,
it's very easy to use.
Congratulations on everything that you've been doing with Virginia Pride, man. You guys are making inroads there. That's like incredible.
Yeah, the former capital of the Confederacy. We're raising pride flags on City Hall. We're turning buildings rainbow color. We're doing a lot of good work here. The whole LGBTQ community has come a very long way in a very short time in this city. We're really proud of all the work we've done.
So, what do you got planning for June? What's coming up in June?
So our mayor is raising a pride flag over City Hall. We're turning buildings rainbow color. We have our sports teams are celebrating with Pride Nights for Pride Month. We have a huge event planned in a big market square that we have here. It'll be our first real big in-person event since the pandemic. And then we have our Pride Festival in September. So we actually don't have our Pride Festival in June like a lot of cities do, which is actually a really good thing this year because it gives us more time to let restrictions ease and everything. Finally, all of our restrictions go away as of May 28th, but we still, so we're really excited.
I am so proud of you. That is so cool. How's Bino? Have you talked to her?
I have. I talked to her a couple weeks ago. She's great. Busy as always. Spending time in Las Vegas.
Is she here? Is she here or is she in Park City? I can't remember.
So she was in Vegas for a while. She flies back and forth.
Right.
You know, it's only about an hour flight, so she'll spend the morning in one place and the afternoon in another.
Right. No, she had Bino Solomon is this wonderful, wonderful woman who James introduced me to 100 years ago in Washington, D.C. when Esther was like starting, like it was like 2000, right?
Yeah, no, it was. What was that place in the basement that you?
I know my showbiz career started in the basement.
I mean, it was a club, and it wasn't like
it was chaos. It was the Latin Club. Remember?
Yes.
It wasn't the Latin Club, but they had Latin night,
right?
And I was always there on Latin night. Coño, chicos, I can't believe that I'm going to be there to see the boys.
Yes. Yes. I leave it to you to work in a Latin club.
Right. I love how when these come in, it says James Milner, he, him, his. Isn't that cool? Now, did you put that up yourself?
No, I didn't. It did it automatically. I think because I've used StreamYard before, it might have already been in there. But
gotcha. Yes. Save the Zoom in your hotkeys. Okay, cool. I'm legit amazed at how well these auto captions hear and keep up with you both. Oh, that's right, because it's auto captions. What's happening is, if they're watching it on YouTube, Jamie, you're watching it on Facebook, but as we speak, it's doing the closed caption. So all the deaf people have no excuse not to enjoy my show when it gets going. So I'm happening. So
as if that might be the only excuse they would come up with. But anyway, that's the whole
right. No, oh wow, we got a few people in here. I'm excited. The thing is, I time this and I keep forgetting that in order to get the East Coast audience like you guys, I keep forgetting that it's dinner time and nobody's going to be around. So I'm trying to figure out the best time would probably be around 12 noon our time, which is 3 o'clock your time, unless they're just people that have no lives after 6 or 7 on the East Coast. And get out of here. I've seen you and your hubby, your husband. Did you just have an anniversary or something? Or was it birthdays? What was it?
Wait, what month is it? May. Oh no, we were just at the beach, so we were just posting pictures of smooching and.
Oh yeah, you're doing Sandy. You were doing Greece.
Yes, exactly. No, but I love to I love to put that, like, the fact that I have my profile pic is of us kissing. So when I comment on conservative sites, it just makes them even madder.
It does.
I mean, all the stuff that I get, all the nasty comments that I get about the fact that it's a picture of me kissing my husband. It's like, they forget about the comment where I told them that they were stupid assholes.
There you go. I love it. Gotta love Republicans. And then it's like, sorry. I have all these great sound effects. I use them. There we go. Marjorie Taylor Greene's in the room. Is she? Okay. Everybody knows I speak my mind with politics, and it is to put me. I think I'm holding the record for being in Facebook jail more than anybody, But to also let everybody know, James is one of my political pundits on the East Coast. He's introduced me to Joel Lawson, who I just love. Joel goes, I can't believe we all lived in DC and I never knew you back then. And I said, yeah, you'd probably hate me by now if we were friends.
Joel's fantastic.
Joel is one of those incredible people who is constantly keeping us up to date on stories and things that are happening political, because I am a proud liberal Democrat and I will scream it to the top of the world. But what is happening is, wow, I still am baffled. DeSantis today is going after social media. Did you see that? signing a bill.
They're fining Facebook if they or social media if they ban political candidates or something like that.
But they're not banning political candidates. I mean, it's like crazy.
Well, I mean, and I thought, I really thought Republicans were about the free market too, and about letting corporations set their own rules and, doing all this other kind of stuff until, of course, they do something they don't like, and then they're the enemy of the people.
Oh, totally. And you just, my jaw is dropped, and especially lately. And hey, people, if you're interested in politics, keep listening because it's going to get fun. Because I start to speak my mind, and James will speak his too. But I'm telling you right now, one of the things that's upsetting me the most, and tell me if I'm wrong, but it's like, what happened to the DNC, the Democratic, committee? Where is, what's his name, who ran against Lindsey Graham and became the head of the DNC? We are not answering any of the craziness that is going on with the Republicans. They control the narrative because we sit back and don't do anything.
I mean, literally, Republicans, they come up with the craziest message possible, repeat it over and over and over again until people, even sane people, begin to accept it. Like, it's like, I just don't, I don't understand it. And then Democrats are still trying to find common ground and bipartisanship with Republicans. Fuck Republicans.
Fuck them.
Do away with the filibuster. Ram through everything we can because we've got less than 2 years. We've got less than 2 years.
Well, I wish my friend Frank Hagan would come on, or Joel. That would be so cool because Frank and we watch Rachel Maddow and cheer. But Rachel made the big point the other night on her show about they're not going to do anything bipartisan. The Republicans have already said, Mitch McConnell said, we're not doing anything. No, it's not happening, and we're not going to vote with you. So we need to do which is what we did with the Save America bill. But the problem is we've got Manchin. Manchin still has singing Kumbaya for his idiots and toothless people in West Virginia, which is like the second poorest fucking state in the country. And Manchin is it's Manchin that's keeping the filibuster.
Well, we also have Dianne Feinstein, who has also said, or somebody told her that she should say, because I don't think the woman has her Allum Rebels anymore.
She's 87.
She's not with. I mean, she's not with it anymore.
No. Remember when she hugged Lindsey Graham?
Well, and it's a real. I mean, let's finish that one subject, but I want to say something about Dianne Feinstein in a minute. But you're absolutely right. We have to get rid of the filibuster. There was a time when I was against it. I thought, you know what? Because it's going to come back and bite us in the ass if we get rid of it. But the truth of the matter is, the minute Republicans need to get rid of it for something, they will. So it's not going to be retaliation. Republicans are going to get rid of it if Democrats don't. And they're going to get rid of it to benefit them, and we're going to be the ones that lose. America's going to be is going to lose as a result because you're going to ram through some piece of awful legislation, and that's where we're going to get hurt. But I wish Dianne Feinstein would just retire while she still has the legacy that she has for all of the amazing work that she has done. Right. But she's going to stick around in office and end up damaging her legacy. I just think that's a real travesty.
Daniel Flores said also Kristen Sinema.
Yes.
Daniel Flores. By the way, Daniel, we will be going on Twitch soon. I've just got to figure how to waddle past all the topless women sitting in a pool riding a inflated horse. It's like truly a bizarre. If you've never been on Twitch, it's quite wacky. It's like OnlyFans, but on a video thing, and it's free. And all I saw were these women sitting in inflatable bathtubs in their living rooms or wherever. And she's like, "Hi, I just give dollars and cents, and I'll ride the pony a little bit longer." And you're just like, "You've got to be kidding me." So
maybe Esther should do that.
It's right with a can of Raid. I can see it now. But no, back to the political situation. I am. My friend Frank said to me, it all could change and just like that if Trump is indicted, if Gates is indicted. I have a funny feeling, and tell me if I'm wrong. But I have this funny feeling. I call it Garland's revenge. And it's coming. It's coming. Not that he's doing it on purpose, but I think Merrick Garland, I don't care what you think. The man was denied the Supreme Court by these freaking idiots, by McConnell, right, by Lindsey Graham. Lindsey Graham. I just like, and McConnell's there until 2026. He just get reelected. Oh, the man should just have a heart attack and croak, but it's not going to happen. But it just dumbfounds me on a daily basis. And then there's what's his name, Breyer. Is Breyer going to retire? As much as we loved RGB, she was wonderful, she was great, but she should have left during Obama's tenure.
Well, Breyer's got to retire. I mean, he needs to do it. Before. I mean, and we have the 50-50 split. We can, and the Republicans did away with the filibuster for the Supreme Court justices. Again, evidence that they will do anything that benefits them, which is fine.
Right.
So, but we can get another justice approved. But what I'm afraid of is that some 87, 88-year-old Democratic senator is going to drop dead, and I mean, what's the one from Vermont? Leahy? Yeah, is it? No. Yeah, is it Leahy?
Yes, Leahy, the one that oversaw the impeachment.
Right. I mean, if something happens to him, Vermont has a Republican governor who could appoint a Republican,
right,
to fill that seat. I mean, he said he wouldn't, but you never know.
Right. You can't trust them. Look at that witch from Maine, the Dodie Goodman of the Senate. What's her name?
Susan Collins.
Susan Collins. I mean, she is just now.
I'm concerned.
I'm concerned. However, I'm still going to vote with Mitch. I mean, but she's under investigation right now. They started that investigation, because the FBI is investigating her because of campaign finances. Yeah. It was on Friday, I think it came out, because Frank Hagan, my buddy Frank, showed me the story, and then I read it. But look it up. She's under investigation too now. They're all under investigation. It is amazing to me that there is such blatant freaking corruption in front of our eyes, and they're getting away with it. And I guess the thing that astounds me the most, and people, you can also in the comments put your opinions, and I will read them. But is the whole January 6th branding that they're trying to all of a sudden twist things around. They're trying to act like January 6th never happened, and that stupid idiot from Georgia that said it was just tourists.
And I mean, this is one of the things that just makes me more angry than almost anything else, is that these people have somehow decided that they can go back and gaslight and tell people that what we actually saw with our own eyes and heard with our own ears didn't happen.
Right.
And they're getting away with it. Getting away with it.
Why are they getting away with it? Because the Democrats have no spine. Schumer sits there like he's going to fucking fall asleep every time he goes to the podium. Well, I don't agree. Whatever. Klobuchar needs to come in and kick his ass, get him out, and she needs to be the speaker. I mean, it's insanity.
But imagine for a moment, this wouldn't happen, but imagine for a moment that it was Black Lives Matter protesters that did that at the Capitol. Republicans, they would have all had strokes by now,
right?
Like falling all over themselves to come up with every conceivable conspiracy theory, calling it treason, sedition, whatever else. Like, I mean, it's insane, and
they are getting away with it because we're allowing them to. And someone said, well, maybe we're just waiting for them to combust with all the corruption. That's not going to happen.
We've been waiting for
5 years.
I know. I mean, since Obama was in office, we've been waiting for that to happen.
My friend Dale Curran, hold on, let me put this up here. Dale writes, Kellyanne gave them the alternative facts universe, and they're still running with it. Truth has become irrelevant. It's so true. It is so true. Yes, I know. James's microphone is hitting his collar, and it's okay.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's not that bad. It's just when it hits, it goes.
Got it. I'll move it out. There you go.
There you go. It doesn't matter. It wasn't bothering me. You know how the listeners can be. They're just like, what? Stop it. No, what are we going to do about Manchin? Manchin is the one that I think Sinema, she's fine, but Manchin is the guy. I mean, I can't understand how someone who represents the second poorest, I think it's between Kentucky and West Virginia as the two poorest states, right?
Right.
And he acts like he's still screaming, we can do this together. We can do this together. And we can't.
Well, I don't think, I mean, there's no way we can get rid of Manchin. We can't primary him because any other Democrat would lose in West Virginia. So we can't do that.
Right. And you mentioned that. You said, one of the things, you and I had this discussion a few weeks ago when I was just pissed off at him. And he said, we can't lose Manchin because if he goes, then McConnell takes it over again.
Right.
McConnell still acts like he's the leader of the fucking Senate. I mean, he really does.
Which baffles me as to why McConnell seems to still have all of this power that Chuck Schumer didn't have 6 months ago.
Right.
Like, why is it that McConnell still gets to control the Senate? Why couldn't Democrats have done this before? I just don't I don't understand it.
Well, he does it because he knows he's got Manchin on his side pocket, and McConnell knows that. McConnell knows that Manchin isn't possibly going to budge. I'm thinking, go meet with Biden. Go have somebody brought this up the other day too. They go, there's things going on that we don't know about. Biden likes to negotiate, and there could be things going on inside the White House between Biden and Manchin. What's he going to give Manchin in exchange to get rid of the filibuster? Stuff like that.
Right.
I mean, Biden does come from the old school.
That is very true. But I have a completely crazy theory that the way to do this is to actually get Lisa Murkowski from Alaska to switch parties. Because I think of all the Republican senators, she was the one that was the angriest about Trump. She's the one that consistently voted to impeach him.
Right.
That was always willing to stand up and to say this was wrong. And I think, if there was ever hope of getting a Republican to switch parties, it was her.
Right. Okay. Hold on. Oops, wrong one. Hold on. Let me hide this. Let me bring this up. Can you see that when it comes up? Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. As a Canadian looking in, I just can't comprehend with the amount of footage and pictures and social, how do they even have the gall to pretend it didn't happen? Yeah. I mean, everybody knows that. It's mind blowing. But what happens, it seems, Jamie, is that the Republicans don't fight back with the vicious venom that the Republicans do.
Well, so here's actually, Jamie, that's actually a really good question. And I think the answer to that is that they take just enough of the truth to turn it into a lie that people can believe. So they're not saying that people didn't attack the Capitol, because obviously we can see that. What they're saying is that once they were inside the Capitol, they stayed in tourist areas, meaning that they had no intention of ever going, although, they did somehow manage to get on the Senate floor.
Well, the guy sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office. Hello.
I mean, but they're trying to spin a narrative that says, for the most part, these people went to places that tourists could get into. So they were just exploring the Capitol. They weren't in any way intending to, harm anybody. But then, of course, there's that beautiful photo of, what's his name, Cowley or whatever his name is, the one that keeps saying it's a tourist thing, right, standing behind the cop, screaming because,
the couch and everything that they had up against the door. You just want to go, look, what is this? Let's see. McConnell knows the Dems will never fight back with the same weaponry the Republicans use. It's true. Time to stop, try to accommodate instead of legislate. But that's so very true. And it's almost like we're wussies, and Republicans won't be challenged after the infrastructure bill to pass. And that is, I mean, do we think, hold on, I'm just getting ready. I'm hitting so many buttons here. What do you think about the infrastructure bill? Do you think we're going to get it?
No. So apparently today, Republicans came back and offered $568 billion or something like that. When, Democrats proposed 2.7 trillion or something like that. Biden came back and said, okay, I'll go to 1.7 trillion, down $500 or $600 billion.
Right.
And then Republicans were like, nope, we're staying at 500 billion, which shows that they have no interest in negotiating. And, even when Donald Trump, when Donald Trump was in office, the White House put out their budget that called for 1.5 trillion in infrastructure spending. I mean, Donald Trump.
Where does that come up? Why don't they all of a sudden the Democrats go, but you liked it when Trump did it. Why don't you like it now? It just drives me insane.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't. I mean, do I think that we'll get something done on infrastructure? Probably, but it will be so minor. Because it's in Republicans' interest to keep anything that will benefit the American people from happening, because they can then go campaign on the fact that Democrats couldn't get anything done and that they didn't deliver on their promises. Because Republicans have no ideas. They don't have any policies that actually benefit the American people, and they know it.
Well, and that's the thing that drives me insane. It goes back to healthcare. You realize it's been 8 years, 4 years with idiot, the red piece of shit, and then 4 years or at least 8 years with Obama, and they all said they have their plan, and we've never seen it. We've never seen their healthcare plan. Trump says, "Oh, we got it," but no, we never saw it.
2 weeks. Remember 2 weeks. I'll have it in 2 weeks. Everything was 2 weeks. Infrastructure bill was 2 weeks. Healthcare bill was 2 weeks.
And you just want to go, ah! And, you know, a lot of this goes back, and I'll probably piss off some people, but hopefully not, because everyone on my page and that comes to all of our stuff is intelligent and has been to school and been educated and graduated, able to read in the 12th grade. But a lot of this goes back to education. The ignorant, uneducated people are the people that are part of the Trump base and the Republican base. Sadly, excuse me, I've had hiccups. And these people are gullible. They believe everything. And the Republicans know that. I mean, you remember when Donald Trump said, "I love the dumb people."
So I'm going to challenge you just a little bit on that one. And I'm going to say that it has to do with racism.
Well, yes.
I think the Republican Party, the base of the Republican Party is rooted, and the support that the Republicans have is rooted in racism and xenophobia.
Of course.
Which I think ignorance is a part of that, and stupidity is a part of that. But that's what they have. That's where they've been really successful, is creating this idea that somebody is coming for what white people have. Right. And they are either black people, brown people, Mexicans, whatever you want to say. But that they are going to lose something most of them don't have anyway. I mean, most of them depend on the federal government and yada yada yada. But
yada yada.
I mean, I think it's really rooted in racism.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. That's where Trump excelled. I mean, okay. Next door to my building, you've been here to my home, but next door is it used to be called the Lucky Dragon. Now we call it the Unlucky Dragon, but it was bought by this Republican crazy man named the Ahern Company, which I call it the A-hole company. But Ahern Hotel and Casino is next door. They have Trump rallies all the time. All the Trump rallies in Vegas start next door, and I have to fucking look at it every damn day. I take pictures all the time, and they had a rally, something going on this weekend, and they were all these guys with their leather vests and whatever. I mean, it was scary. And I mean, I was walking Champers one day, and they were having a rally, and there was Secret Service. It was before the election. And the reason why the Secret Service was all out back here watching my dog take a shit and wondering what I was doing is because little Donnie Jr. was speaking at the event next door. I mean, it is like, and everybody, and Ahern, the guy, Ahowell or whatever his name is, the Ahern Hotel and Convention Center. Ahern is a huge Republican, and I have to live with that next door. And I look at the people, and they're like the clones. It's like, it's like redneck clones. It would be like if they had ever had a redneck circuit party. They all look alike. You know how the circuit queens all look alike? Well, the rednecks all look alike. They're like they've got the pot guts. They wear they got the bad beards and the rotten teeth, and they speak they ain't got no sense, and they talk like this, and it's like, God, that Trump is the best motherfucker in the world, and you just go, ah. Someone just said you're so animated, Michael. Your facial reactions. Yes, because the Botox is worn off. If I have Botox, my nothing fucking moves. But I haven't had Botox since December, so I'm going natural as much as I can. James. It's true. My face.
Oh, that's what I need. I
can actually move my eyebrows. I haven't had Botox since December. And so I said, okay, we'll see what happens. And someone said, well, you look more rugged. I go, yeah, I know. Do you love that? Yes, my forehead looks like a Rand McNally fucking roadmap. Hold on, let's see. If let's see, hold on. What is somebody right here? Hi, Michael. I are educated. If my Republican father had seen Trump, he would be spinning in his grave.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm actually fortunate that I come from a Republican family. My father and my family are fairly conservative from where I grew up in a small town in Southern Virginia, but thankfully they all despise Donald Trump. My dad's almost 90 years old, and it breaks my heart to see what Donald Trump was doing to him and the pain that it caused him to see what he was doing to this country that my dad loves so much. And my dad is very patriotic and gets very emotional, like fireworks and the flag and that kind of stuff. But he could not grasp how a man like Donald Trump ever darkened the door of the White House. I
used to tell everybody, and I think I may have told you this, but I used to tell everybody I used to be a Republican. And I was a Republican in business and a Democrat in social life. That's the way I told people. I'm a Republican in my business life and a Democrat in my social life. But back then, 20 years ago, but even I believe that the Republican Party started to disintegrate with Newt Gingrich and the Contract for America. Absolutely. That's when it started.
I call it the Contract on America, actually.
But that's remember when Pat Robertson was running
for
president, all the religions, that's when it started. And that evolved into, as somebody said, what happened to the Tea Party? That became the Tea Party. The Tea Party was that Sarah Palin. Hi, this is really crazy and I'm really stupid and I look really pretty and all the rednecks want to fuck me. That's why I'm the vice president. And she made millions and all of her kids have children out of wedlock. And, that's the biggest crazy woman ever. But and then that's the Tea Party came. And then Trump came. And then what happened was Trumpism. The Republican Party that anybody had any semblance of realization for, it doesn't exist anymore. It is now the party of Trump.
So do you think that there will actually be a Republican Party split where the Trumpers go one way and another group of people like Liz Cheney go the other?
Which is where I was leading to, because there's a whole group of Republicans that are part of the old guard. That, what was it, like 100 of them? I think I saw prominent Republicans had signed something about leaving the party. Not leaving the party, but splitting to go back to the party of Lincoln instead of the party of Trumpkin, And what do you think? Here's the thing: you're only as strong as your weakest link, and all we need is the weak links to those people, like the Liz Cheneys, those powerful people. Dick Cheney, those people. Those are the old guard. They have a lot of money now. And the Koch brothers, what is happening with them? Well, the one died, right? He wrapped out. Sitting in hell, having a barbecue. What's going to happen with these people? I have absolutely no idea. I would love to see it. I would love to see the party split because, as you said, there are people like your dad. There are people I know that are Republicans, and they're upset that, those times when, back in the day, Lyndon Johnson had a scotch and soda with somebody, or Reagan sat down with, what's his name, who was the Speaker of the House, Tip O'Neill. They would have a cocktail and sit down and talk about it. Even when I was in Washington D.C., I got to go to a lot of different events, and I would see Republicans and Democrats talk. The erosion had started. But it wasn't as bad. It really started to disintegrate with the Tea Party.
Well, you remember folks like Steve Gunderson, who was an openly gay Republican congressman. You remember who was the Jerry? Who was the other one? There were a
log
few
cabin people, the original log cabin people.
Oh yeah, which again, the log cabin. Oh my God, let's not even start talking about that basket of deplorables.
Hold on. What is this? Hold on. What is this? Daniel said, Miss Liz said on Axios she's not going to head the Republican Party and not challenge Trump. Well, how do you mean not challenge Trump? Is she not going to run against Trump? I don't think she's going to try to run for president. Is that what you mean, Daniel? When you say not challenge Trump? I don't understand that one because she doesn't like Trump. I can't imagine. And she's still, from what I understand, isn't she still against Trump's values and what he stands for?
Oh, yeah. I mean, as far as I know.
Yeah. I wonder if that's something that just came up recently that I didn't see. Let's see what else. I'm dying at all your impressions. Yes, I knew a really good. I really do a really good Sarah Palin.
Well, you know, we have a governor's race happening here in Virginia. We're one of two this year.
What's his name? Running again, right?
No. So our governor is term limited to one term.
Oh, really?
I think we're the only state in the country that a governor can only serve 1 4-year term. But no. So here's the interesting thing. One, so they can serve more than 2 terms. They just can't be consecutive terms. So we have Terry McAuliffe, who was the governor before Northam, who is now running for a second term
because he's not
non-consecutive term. Right. So
serious. Well, you know, I spent my formative years in Virginia Beach, Virginia. Norfolk, Virginia Beach. You do know that, right?
I do know this. We haven't been able to get rid of the stench.
It's okay. Use that new industrial strength Febreze. It works. They you're such a hateful hag. But no, I did not know that. I did not know that. I've been away from Virginia for so long.
So the Republicans have nominated a guy named Glenn Youngkin, who is who positions himself as a very wealthy, self-made millionaire, job creator, you know, all of that kind of BS that they always try to spew. But he was running against a woman named Amanda Chase, who literally called herself Trump in heels. That was her tagline. I'm Trump in heels. Right. And she carries around an AR-47. Like, she shows up at events with a gun
like
on.
Bitch, what's her name? Lauren Boebert,
right.
Babel.
Oh, she very much so. But Republicans, they didn't even have a primary. They had a convention. So that the very far right of the party could control who won the nomination. So the Republican Party of Virginia is all in for Donald Trump, which I really hope means that we will have another Democratic governor, because Virginia has been a very blue state for the last couple of years.
And the same thing with Nevada. Listen, I moved from California to here, and I swear to God, I am like, they hate me on the local news channels here. I mean, I actually have my little badge, you know, like with KNB and KLAS, the CBS and the ABC station here. I get on these freaking Trumpers hate my guts because you're a bunch of idiots.
That's what usually gets you banned, like in Facebook jail.
It does, but and so what got me banned for a week was when somebody was asking what's Vegas like, and I said, well, because my friend Joey Santos, celebrity chef, was in town with his friend Alan Nevins, who's a big super agent. And we all went to dinner, and somebody wrote, Michael, so what was it like? And I said, oh, well, we walked out of the Cosmopolitan across the street to the Bally's, and I go, it was like white trash, ghetto, and rednecks. I go, I thought I was going to get shanked at any moment. That got me put in to Facebook jail for 7 days because they said I was spreading hate speech. And it's like, if you look, you'll see I do comedy and stuff like that, and I say things. And then what happened was there was this other thing that happened, and then PolitiFax is the company that oversees all the politics on Facebook. And in order for them to for me to argue and present my case, do you realize you have to pay $5 to $10 or $15? You have to give a donation to PolitiFax to put in your complaint. And I'm like, fuck you, assholes. I'm not giving you right-wing motherfuckers at $5. I'm not even giving you a penny. So I just said, fuck it. So one of the things we've been doing is, I'm moving. I'm going primarily more towards YouTube. I'm not going to give up Facebook at all, because I have almost 15,000 on Politics as a Drag, but Facebook took away all my monetization. I was reaching 1.9 million people.
Oh, that's terrible.
And they took away my monetization because they said I was spreading fake news and fake stories. And I'm like going, this is comedy. Some of it is everything that got me put in, everything that took the monetization away was all comic, were jokes, and it says politics, parody, satire. But
isn't that what Fox? It doesn't Fox News just call itself entertainment for legal purposes now, so that they don't have to say anything that's true?
No, of course. And then there's what's the other one? Newsmax or whatever the fuck those idiots are.
Yeah.
Oh, they're crazy. And you just go, oh my God, they just spew the lies. And then Rick Scrotum Santorum, he got axed by CNN the other day. Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally.
Well, he'll end up over at Newsmax, because he's so extreme.
Yeah, I had the pleasure of asking one of my friends to Google Rick Santorum and see what comes up.
Yes.
Who was it that did that to him? Was it Michael Signorelli or was Michelangelo Signorelli or
it was
one of those folks that paid for the search engine optimization so that when you Google Rick Santorum. For those of you listening who have never Googled Rick Santorum, if you do, the first or second description of him is a relative. What is this? It's like the froth that comes out of anal sex or something like that. Yeah,
it's his description. Eamon Bundy filed to run for governor of Idaho. That's exciting. Are you watching?
Those are the cattle ranchers, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bundy was here. Remember, he got in trouble here in Nevada. There was a huge thing on him here in Nevada. It was so funny. And I was like, really?
Well, you saw Andrew Giuliani. Giuliani's son is now running for governor. Did you see that
stupid idiot? He couldn't figure out, was that the Statue of Liberty, or he didn't even know what to call it. He didn't know. Did you see the clip?
I did not see that. He literally didn't know what the but they talk about Biden being, mentally deficient, and then you've got, this 25-year-old kid running that can't identify the Statue of Liberty.
Right. Well, he didn't know what the correct name was. He was, and there it is. He goes, what do we call? Is it the Statue? Is it Lady Liberty? That's what he said. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And then he was like saying how long he's been in politics, and they're like, someone pointed out, well, you weren't even born when you said you were in politics for 30 years or something. I mean, you just go. I love your guest, the governor of Virginia. Oh, somebody said they love you. Yes, that's James Miller, Jill. There it is. Your guest, the governor of Virginia, bought my friend's house on the Elizabeth River.
Oh, the current one, the Northam.
She'll let us know in a second. Oh, here it is. Daniel Flores said he called Lady Liberty Miss Manhattan.
Probably because he'd been at a drag show earlier, and that's what the contest was. It was for Miss Manhattan.
Him, Giuliani's son, and Eric Trump. They're like Beavis and Butthead.
Well, Giuliani looks like if Eric Trump and Don Jr. had a child. I mean, he literally looks. He's got the teeth of Eric and like the face of Don Jr. He's one of the most bizarre looking people I've ever seen.
An old man Giuliani is starting to look like Nosferatu. I mean, it's a couple of fangs right there. He's crazy. I mean, you just go, wow.
Can you imagine what he smells like? That's the thing that would just kill me. Like,
probably worse than what I left behind in Virginia, huh, James?
I always I think about these weird things, and I'm like, I wonder what it would be like. I always felt so bad for the staffers that had to ride in the hermetically sealed limo with Donald Trump, because his diaper was full of shit, and he probably just gross.
My favorite one of my favorite images was when he left the White House that day on January 21st. Was it 21st? Yeah, 21st, 20th or 21st.
No, anyway. he left the 18th because he didn't want to have to ask Biden for permission to fly on Air Force One.
Oh, that's right.
Remember?
That's right. But remember when they came down the steps, Melania had changed into that fucking tablecloth. And then when they got down to the bottom of the steps, he thought she was going to stand next to him, and she just walked away and walked around the car. Oh my God, I died.
Oh, that, and then the time that he went to grab her hand and she's like swatting it away.
Always. Well, they have a whole compilation of Melania swatting his little tiny hand away. She's like a stale condom left out to dry in the sun. Too funny. But no, it's. Do you think? Here's a question for you. Do you think that Miss Letitia, the Attorney General of New York, and Mr. Vance in the Southern District of New York and Manhattan, which I've had plenty of dealings with them with my lawsuit. Do you think the fact somebody made a point that the Southern District, the DA in Manhattan, never works with the Attorney General of the state? They don't work together, but all of a sudden now they're working together on what could possibly happen because they're going after Weisselberg. Is it Weisselberg? Yeah, Weisselberg is the Trump's attorney of 100 years. And so do you think that if Trump is indicted, it will change things or will it fire up the base?
I mean, yes, it'll fire up the base, but I think it will depend on exactly what the indictment is for. If it is for minor technical things, I think that's going to be one thing. If there is massive fraud and illegalities discovered, which is the only reason I could possibly think that the Manhattan DA and the New York Attorney General have started to work together, is that they have uncovered this incredibly complex web of
tax
shell companies,
right,
tax evasion, like all of this kind of stuff. So I think it depends on what the indictment's going to be. If it is a significant indictment on multiple felony charges that there is no way he's going to be able to defend against all of them, I think it will cause people to run away from him. I think.
Go ahead.
I think if it's a few minor things here and there, if they are, if they are just a few minor infractions here and there that he can probably settle out of court for, if it's going to depend on whether it's a, an actual criminal indictment or whether there is just a civil suit filed. Which is what the Attorney General of New York was pursuing originally.
And then it became criminal.
Yeah.
It became criminal. Especially, Weisselberg is like, if they get him to turn, boom, that's...
Well, you see how they're getting to him, too. And again, this all goes back to be nice to your ex-wife, because it's the ex-wife...
Yeah, it's the ex-wife is doing this shit.
Well, his son's ex-wife, but that has turned over all of these documents.
She must have been very smart. She must have been very smart to assemble these documents, or she must have done it while they were asleep or something as insurance.
Well, wasn't it Marla Maples that turned over some tax documents too for Donald Trump, because it was one of his. Yeah, it was.
It had to be Marla Maples, because you never hear from Marla anymore. Marla keeps her mouth shut, and then they had that twatty looking daughter. What's her name? Tiffany.
Tiffany, poor Tiffany, just begging to be loved. And they sent her out to be the one that talked to the gays.
And she's like the lurch of the Trump family. She's just
love me, daddy.
Right, because he doesn't give a shit about her. And I mean, she's just there. She's just there as an ornament and to talk to the gays. And you just go, oh my God. Well, what? And the other thing, Gates. What do you think is going to happen to Gates? Do you think?
Gates?
No. Matt Gates.
Oh, Matt Gates. I was like,
Matt Gates. Matt Gates to me. What?
Oh no. Next to getting Donald Trump, there will be nothing that gives me more pleasure than seeing Matt Gates led off in an orange jumpsuit and handcuffs. Like,
and I put a meme up the other day. I said Matt Gates is the only person that looks like Beavis and Butthead combined.
It's absolutely true, but I think he's in real trouble, and I actually think that there are more Republicans connected to him because he probably has. Because once they get him,
he showed naked pictures on the floor of the House.
Well, but he's also probably got a whole lot of dirt on a whole lot of Republicans that he could easily turn over in order to save his own ass. And so I think Republicans are really, nobody's really coming to his defense, like
No,
that's
not even
really
Trump
telling.
came to his offense, right? But yet he's out there this past 2 weeks with Marjorie Greene, the idiot. He's out there like kissing Trump's ass with these little rallies. They had a rally yesterday, and with that stupid ass, what is it? The Florida, the Arizona recount, which is Matt and Marjorie went there yesterday to hold a rally. I don't think too many people covered it, but crazy.
Well, I mean, and that recount is going to come out and say that that showed that Donald Trump won. I mean,
well, they're doing that just so they can go to the other states and do the same thing, because remember all those hundreds of millions that Donnie and his group raised that last month he was in office.
Yep.
That's the money that's paying for this. All they want to do is keep it in the news. That's all. They want to keep it in the news. And if they have hundreds of millions of dollars to spend, they will do that to keep the recount in the news and to basically chip away at the freedom to vote, the freedom that we have with this. I mean, because they've proved there was no voter fraud. But his base, I mean, I sit there and I watch some of these interviews with people, and I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, these people are so stupid. I mean, it's like, okay, there's like the woman that lived in the building. I worked for her with her, she's a Republican that owns a dildo company. And swear to God.
Were you a model?
I was. No, I mean, everybody knows that when I was having the lawsuit with Esther, I couldn't perform with her or do her until the lawsuit was over. But I could. But so what happened was there's this woman in the building who owned. She represented the company that was called Susie's Adult Stores. They were in Hawaii, Reno, and California. There was a whole group of them, and so they asked me would I come up with some advertising, and I couldn't use Esther, so we came up with Crazy Aunt Susie. Right. And so that's how I was paying rent, because nobody else had work. I had work, thank God, during the pandemic, and I was hawking dildos and vibrators and lube for this woman's company. But she's a crazy ass Republican. I don't even speak to the woman anymore. She's nuts. I went up to her home. She lives in the building, and she said to me, I swear she says to me, Michael, you really need to stop watching CNN and MSNBC. You really need to start watching Fox and listening to Tucker Carlson, because he has the truth. Trump won the election. And then she prefaces it afterwards. I mean, it finishes the sentence with, and by the way, I just don't approve of gay marriage. I'm like, what does that have to do? And I realized I never longer worked with them. It's a long story, but I just ended the whole thing because I couldn't deal with it. But these Republicans, and she's wealthy as fuck. She just bought the penthouse upstairs. One of the penthouse. We have like 5 of them. She bought one of the penthouses, and this is an intelligent woman who believes that the election was stolen. And I'm just going, how does this happen?
Yeah, I had a one of my best friends growing up. His parents, his father, was a well-regarded journalist and author. And, he's now in his probably 70s or whatever, but he posted on Facebook the other day that he thought that Tucker Carlson was the most honest, legitimate journalist ever on the planet. And I was just like, how do you go from being somebody that I grew up with, that I respected? And I mean, I can have a reasonable political disagreement with somebody and not, and still respect you. If your opinion is based in something that resembles fact, that's fair. I can get that. But he was talking about the fact about the COVID vaccine, mm-hmm. and about how and how there are actually millions of reports of deaths and injury and all this other kind of stuff from some self-report from the federal government's own data. Well, of course, what they failed to say is that self-reported data to some database that everybody that had a cough or a cold or a headache afterwards reports on this thing. So Fox has now taken it and said, oh, see all these millions of bad reactions. Well, and then they said that 3,000 people have died after taking it. Well, 3,000 people die a day in this country, and I'm sure 3,000 people died after getting the COVID vaccine. Somebody got hit by a bus, somebody fell out of a window, somebody got shot. But
no. There's people. There are Democrats in my building who won't get a vaccine. And I'm just like, are you crazy? I don't get me started on the vaccine and the vaccine.
It's the most liberating feeling to be fully vaccinated. I mean, it literally is. I'm not a danger to myself. I'm not a danger to anybody else, and that is the most liberating feeling.
It is. I got the Johnson. I had the Johnson.
I did too.
Everybody goes, whatever. I got the Johnson. No,
well, I hope it doesn't interfere with my ability to have children.
Well, get a dog
in case I get pregnant.
Get a cat. No, I had COVID in November and almost died. And so
I was so worried about you. I was so worried about you that when I couldn't, because you usually respond like that when I communicate with you.
Right.
And then you didn't for a while, and I was like going through your friends list and like who can go knock on Michael's door. Like,
well, that was my friend Gwen Shibley, who is one of my dear friends. She was the one that called the concierge at the desk because I hadn't been on Facebook for the day because the ambulance had already been here twice. They'd come twice to give me oxygen because I wouldn't die. But the third time was the worst. And, as much as I despise Facebook sometimes, it was Facebook that actually helped save my life by a friend who didn't see me on. And I died for about 30 seconds in the ambulance in the parking lot of the building. And I came back. They shot me in the heart and got me back. But and the doctor said the only reason why you survived was because you work out every day and you exercise. If you were the typical 100-year-old gay male that you are and didn't exercise, you'd be dead. And so I was like,
right.
Wow. So yeah, no. It's so I had I have the antibodies, and the first thing I did was get the Johnson. I just love saying it, and it's just nasty. But it is. It's very liberating. James, what a sweetheart. This has been fun.
Great to be with you.
We've done a whole. Hold on. We're going to put on the politics music. But anyway, everybody, this is my good friend James Milner of almost 21 years. 21 years we've known each other.
It's been a very long time. Yes.
Yeah. You have been great. Everybody loved what you had to say. I'm reading some of the comments and stuff coming up. And
great.
It's
been a pleasure. You're
going to have to come on when Esther starts the show. And because she's full of craziness. Esther is just, she's going to change things. I truly believe it. And you promise me you'll come on?
Yeah, maybe Joel and I and Esther can do a little thing together.
Definitely, that would be cool, and we could do politics and pride.
I love it. I love it.
Politics and pride with my friend James and Joel. Joel do it. Yeah, well, I have to be careful because his husband gets upset if he stays on going online after dinner hours. But
I'm about to get yelled at too. So,
my darling, thank you so much.
Love you.
And now we're going up with this music. Hey, everybody, you can watch the broadcast of this. Thank you, James.
Bye.
Let me see. How do I do this? There we go. So anyway, I hope you all had a good time listening to the show. I didn't get to try some of the stuff that I wanted to, so I may come back on the air before the night is through because I really need to try out some of this music stuff to see if we can do music. But this was such a great show that I'm going to leave it like this because such great information and such great conversation. Thank you guys. I'm going to come back on a little bit later. But also remember, Esther comes on taking over the broadcast on Wednesday, Hump Day. You all take care.